Today I'll give a brief overview of how DocuSign facilitates compliance for customers who need to be 21 CFR Part 11 compliant, followed by a brief demonstration of how DocuSign 21 CFR Part 11 module works. To help meet the control requirements, DocuSign's Part 11 module capabilities include pre-packaged account configuration, signature-level credentialing, signature-level signature meaning, along with a signature manifestation that has the printed name, date and time they signed, along with the signature meaning. For those of you who are familiar with DocuSign for non-regulated use cases, here's a quick side-by-side to show the differences, which all revolve around the signer experience. Today I'll be playing the part of Quality, who works out of the Chicago office. I've just created a standard operating procedure that needs to be signed off by Quality Assurance in Seattle, but also approved by someone in Colorado. Here I've logged into DocuSign's web app, which is browser-based, so I didn't need to download or install anything, just logged into DocuSign, just like logging into Gmail or LinkedIn. From here I need to get some signatures, so all I need to do is click New, Send an envelope. Here I'm brought into a drafting view, just like drafting up an email. Here I need to choose what document I want to send out, and I can grab it from my local drive or one of the many other options to get that document into that envelope. DocuSign is actually smart enough to recognize I've sent out a document like this before and has automatically applied a template. This DocuSign template essentially stencils over top of the document the specific workflow that your company has in place for approvals. Here, SOPs always need to get signed off by an approver and quality assurance. Now, instead of having to manage who that document goes to, we've actually predefined this so that once that document is sent out, your job is done, and that document's automatically going to be routed to the correct people and notify the parties that need to be in the loop as well. All I need to do is type in the name and email of the approver, and I can send this out. But before I send the document, there was some other DocuSign functionality that was applied with the template that I want to show you as well. When that template was applied, not only was the workflow applied, but also what we call DocuSign fields. This allows you to be more prescriptive in terms of what you want each person to do and where on that document. If you needed the approver to enter some information in addition to signing, you could have a text box be a part of that template applied as well. If you needed to collect some documentation from quality assurance, you could have included an attachment tag so they know to attach that documentation. The best part is, you can make these required so that you never have to worry about documents coming back incomplete or missing signatures. Now that I've sent the document out, let's take a look at what it would look like to manage this process. From the home screen, anything that you would need to sign off on would be in this Action Required area. This provides an easier way to know what you need to sign off on if you're receiving hundreds of emails a day. Waiting for Others shows all the documents that have not been signed yet, and Completed are where all of the signed documents live. Let's take a closer look in the Waiting for Others folder. Here we can see we have two SOPs that have been sent out but are still waiting for signatures. If I click into SOP 97.1, we can see there's some useful information here. Here we can see that Mel's already signed off on the document and we're just waiting for Perry. We can actually see when Perry's viewed that document as well, and we'll send a notification email when this happens to you. As a part of the template that was applied, we actually have some automatic reminders going off daily to make sure that email stays at the top of Perry's inbox, but also so that you don't have to be doing the constant follow-up that's usually involved with managing documents for signature. More importantly, if I call up Perry and he says he's ready to sign, I can click this resend so that it's sitting at the top of his inbox and can quickly access that document. From the sender's perspective, it's just as easy, if not easier, to send these documents out, but now with the added benefit of automating that document workflow, automatic reminders taking that workload off your plate, along with the added visibility into where that document is. Now instead of managing that process of where the document is and if it's completed in an Excel spreadsheet or maybe an email inbox, this is now automatically done in DocuSign as well. Now let's switch roles and play the part of the signer, who works out of Seattle. Here I'll play the part of Mel, who's also in the airport waiting for a flight to a client. She gets a brand new email letting her know that we're waiting for her to read through the SOP and sign off. Now when I click in to review the document, this is the first difference between regular DocuSign and Part 11. Here we're asking them to authenticate themselves with their DocuSign account. Now everyone internal that needs to sign documents, you can easily provision them free signer accounts. Anyone external, you can do the same, but don't need to worry about that from the sender's perspective, because DocuSign will automatically check to see if they do have a DocuSign account. If they don't, DocuSign will automatically provision them a free signer account, where just like this Review Documents email button, it would be an Activate button where they would create their password and then be able to sign off on these documents in a compliant manner. Here, Mel already has an account, so all she needs to do is type in her email and password to access the document. This is the first piece of information that's being tracked behind the scenes with DocuSign. Mel is now in the document, and we can see this nice navigation bar is letting her know exactly what the sender is expecting her to do, a signature. The nice thing is, with these larger documents that she scrolls through to read, if she actually forgets to sign and clicks finish, the navigation bar will automatically guide her to those fields. Now when she clicks to sign, this is the next difference where a signing reason is required. Here she is the approver, so she'll select to approve and click sign. This next message just lets her know that she needs to authenticate herself in order to sign off on the document as well. So here she types in the email and password, and the signature is placed. You can also see that the signature manifestation is different, and this is also to facilitate compliance. So no downloading of anything, no installing, no printer. All Mel needed was internet and a browser to sign off in a compliant manner. Now let's switch roles again and play the part of the sender. You're being audited at this point in time and need to prove to the auditors that SOP 12.8 was signed off in a Part 11 compliant manner. Here we can quickly search for the document in the completed folder and download not only the document, but also the certificate of completion which comes with every DocuSign transaction. Here there are going to be 4 things that you'll want to point out to the auditor and that they'll look for. First, that they authenticated themselves in order to access the document, that they have a unique signature ID, that they authenticated themselves in order to actually sign off on the document, along with selecting the signing reason as well. This is all being tracked behind the scenes for each transaction and can be downloaded as a part of the document that was signed off on to make audits as pain-free and quick as possible.